It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies. Current releases, coming attractions, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim.
Hey!
Hello, Jim. And the man that I believe Peter Cetera was channeling when he wrote The Glory of Love, because he is the man that will fight for your honor. It's Murray!
It's too damn hot.
Hello, Murray. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on!
And I'm ready to rumble, Bjorn. This week on the podcast, we will talk about what we saw in theaters last week. Also, what we plan to hopefully see in theaters this coming week. New releases to streaming, which we saw. Open Rage, Murman Minute, the list, Rage or Dare, and then we twirl and skip away till next week. Cool. So, what did we see in the theater?
In the theater, we saw a movie that has two names.
They loved it so much, they named it twice.
They named it twice. Depending on where you watch it, it might be called Most Wanted, but for us it was called Target Number 1. This is the story of a Canadian journalist in 1989 investigating the suspicious arrest of a drug addict who has been imprisoned in a Thai jail. First off, there were some really good performances in this movie. Jim Gaffigan as Picker was great. Stephen McHattie is always good. This time as Frank. And Antoine Olivier Pilon as Daniel was fantastic. Now the bad.
Wow, that's not a lot of good.
Now the bad. Not a lot of focus. Why did we even introduce the wife of Josh Hartnett's character into this? I felt that was totally unnecessary. I also felt Hartnett's performance lacked emotion. He was a little flat. There are sequences in this that drag on. The cops are portrayed as a bunch of morons. It is hard to believe that this investigation got to the point that it did with the information we were provided in this movie. There had to be more to this. There just had to be. Nobody's that stupid.
But don't you think they were evil morons, not just morons?
Well, they were morons that were trying to advance their own careers, and I get that, but it can't go through so many channels with the information that we got and somebody not say, whoa!
Hold the phone
here, but I digress. I wish this would have focused more on Daniel and Picker, because the first half of this film was quite good when they were the focus. When Hartnett's character or the cops were the focus, things weren't nearly as good. Within this film, we had some Mondo performances from Gaffigan and Pilon. But unfortunately, they were in a movie that was meh.
Well, Target Number 1. This had in my opinion, had some of the best casting.
Great casting.
Yeah. By some of the most amazing actors in the business.
Hartnett reminded me of a potato.
Yeah, he was a little potatoey in this.
Everybody else was great, though.
He was like almost like a French fry, because he's fairly skinny and tall. So he wasn't a full-on potato. But yeah, I saw French fry capabilities there. The movie was amazing up until about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's because there was no more Gaffigan.
And then it got caught in the trap of over-explaining and putting away too many non-essential things in the story. The story was getting him into prison, but then they spent way too much time making it more like a CBS expose instead of a movie that we were interested in seeing.
Plus, not enough Gaffigan.
Every actor, I thought, did a pretty good job. Like, I didn't hate Hartnett, but I like him in a lot of things, but he was fairly potatoey. The story was interesting to tell.
Oh, absolutely.
It just needed to be cleaner and more focused without too much details.
I'm with you. Got to be more focused.
Plus, as you said when we came out of the theater, when Jim Gaffigan left the movie, so did the fun.
That was about it.
Well, maybe not a direct quote, but it was
something along those lines.
Pretty great analogy, because that's exactly how I felt. This suffered a little bit what I call Canadian movie curse of trying too hard to put too many details into a movie, and that's happened a lot in a lot of Canadian
just got to
film.
streamline it.
Don't know how to explain it, but even if I didn't know this was a Canadian film, I could tell it was Canadian production. Like,
fair enough.
And I don't, not saying that's because it was like low budget or anything like that.
Nah, because it wasn't.
No. But to me, it gets a 24 minutes too long, meh.
Yeah. It could have been Mondo.
It could have
Story's
been.
great.
Yeah, and
Really well cast.
yeah, like I love the dynamics of actually Gaffigan and the kid.
Yeah,
like, they were just.
Pilon is a good actor. Like, that kid can act.
I don't know if I've seen him in anything.
He was in that Mummy movie. Remember Mummy, the French film?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know who he reminded me of in the movie? Remember we saw that Catholic one? His look kind of reminds me of that Catholic Polish film.
Yeah.
Right?
And he was a good actor.
Yeah,
too.
another great actor.
Yeah.
So rumor has it that I think Merman might have seen this as well.
That is correct.
You did? Okay, well, what do you think, Mer?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Because I feel absolutely the opposite of what you guys did.
You hated
As
it.
usual.
You hated it?
This was 100% a Canadian movie. Everything was Canadian
Yes!
in the movie.
Yep.
Except for Josh Hartnett, who played the only real person in the whole movie.
Jim Gaffigan's not Canadian either.
Yeah, but he's an idiot, so I don't care. I did not like him at all.
That's why he's so funny.
I thought he was
Yeah.
completely unbelievable as a criminal mastermind.
He
The
wasn't.
fact that
He wasn't.
They
That
didn't
was the
show
point.
him.
The fact that he was
He's an
actually
idiot.
able to fool these Canadian police into giving them like $80,000 for a fake tip and framed this kid.
It painted the Canadian cops with
No,
a
yeah,
really,
it did.
really
And-
poor.
And I did do my research. I looked it up.
Yeah.
And yeah, the character's name is made up.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I'm
the
sure it
same
is.
character that.
Yeah,
it
they have
actually
to
happened
protect
to.
the innocents, right?
And the cops the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
They still swept it under the rug, but this is based
they
on
totally
true
did.
stories.
But yeah, Josh Hartnett played a real person.
Yeah.
Who is a reporter. Actually, I think he's still one, but he was recently with W5.
Yeah.
So, reason why his character is maybe a little flat is because he's playing somebody real. And if you've seen the guy in W5, he probably isn't that entertaining anyway. So.
No, it was flat because
Yeah,
it was
but
just
because his
hard.
acting was
But-
He
flat.
was just flat.
Yeah, but regardless, I mean, yeah, it was definitely a Canadian movie. And the only thing really American besides Josh Hartnett was the driving soundtrack. I don't know how the hell they got a Phil Collins song, but they obviously paid for the rights to
They
it.
paid some money.
They
Yeah, there
did.
you go.
Okay, but so
So,
What'd you think?
What'd you think, though?
I thought there was a lot of plot holes, and yeah, the fact that they made up a lot of stuff that
Sounds
didn't
like a
actually
rage.
happen.
Yeah, maybe
oh, no,
it's a rage.
it's not a rage. I mean,
And then you agree with us.
then you agree with us.
anything
You said it's
You
opposite.
said it's completely opposite.
anything Jim Gaffigan in makes me rage anyway.
Uh,
But yeah,
Gaffigan's great.
he was
Yeah.
completely unbelievable as a bad guy. He just
Oh,
he basically
He was a
he
greaseball.
basically ruined the movie for me.
Murray. Oh, he was so good in
That's
Yeah,
what
this.
it
he was
is.
brilliant.
No, he was terrible.
so
He was
basically,
horrible.
what we disagreed on was our love of Jim Gaffigan.
Yes, absolutely.
But everything else we
But
could-
everything
Itself
else was pretty much
and,
right on.
And I didn't mind Josh Hartnett.
All right. So what else did we see?
Well, what else did we see? We saw Becky
Becky.
from Canyon Meadows, and actually, Most Wanted. We saw what? Did we see it at Landmark?
You saw
Nope.
No,
We saw it at
Chinook.
Chinook.
Which is Cineplex.
Cineplex, yeah.
And I have to give kudos to Cineplex because they didn't play all those fucking commercials in front of it. So
Oh, yeah, they did.
I was pretty
I
pretty happy about
didn't
that.
even notice.
Yeah,
That actually
I
kind
did.
of makes me sad because if they're only getting 8 people and they can't even get a commercial done or a commercial before, how are they paying the bills,
Yeah,
Jim?
exactly. It's
but
it's concerning.
Did you see the commercials in front of Becky? Like, oh my God. I
Yeah.
swear I haven't seen crap that bad since my film school days.
It was awesome. Those were the best.
Oh, they were so bad. They
was
should
so
just
bad.
should just right to the movie.
Yeah.
Skip all that crap.
No.
Anyway.
No.
No. I like the weird guys selling tapes and stuff. Whatever he was doing, I don't remember.
I don't even remember, but I remember at the time thinking, yeah, cool.
That's funny. I want to go there and
No.
give him stuff.
Yeah.
So it was at Canyon Meadows, which is a second run theater, but that was the first release we saw of it. Was the second run. So
Yeah, every now
interesting.
and then Canyon Meadows gets they got uncut gems when nobody else got it, so they do that from time to
Which
time.
is good. So this is a teenager's weekend at a lake house with her father takes a turn for the worse when a group of convicts wreak havoc on their lives. Directors are Jonathan Millet and Carrie Murnion, who also worked on one of my favorite Creep Crush films, Cooties. So I'm not sure if you guys love that, but if it's got my boy in it, I loved it. And it looks like it was written by Nick Morris and Ruckus Sky. Stars Lulu Wilson, Kevin James, and Joel McHale. So, I have not been as excited about an action suspense horror movie since seeing The Hunt back in March. So I was super pumped that we got to see this in the theater.
So was I.
Pumped. This is another great example. If in the case where you have a young ladies who kick ass, punch dicks, maliciously murder with rulers, then jump on top of and pop their arteries, kill and drown people with boat motors, and run down bad guys with rider mowers. But beforehand, they light them on fire, and yes, I'm adding this also to my list of my favorite creepy little fuckers who have the great makings of a great serial killer. Becky could be the Jason Voorhees we have been wishing for in a slasher film to come. This is the breedings of future passion for I want to say maybe a youth serial killer, which we don't see very many of those. This could, if Becky too comes, I will be more than happy. Lulu Wilson does a brilliant job as an annoying little brat that goes from angry teen to cold-blooded killer in 5 stages or less. You don't miss a beat in her going down her pouty, annoying journey to Nick Cage-like screaming rage. This ticked every box for an R-rated, Home Alone, marshmallow roasting style, camp-killing murder spree. If the original Home Alone was written by Clive Barker and set in the woods, you would have a good idea of what this movie was. I can't wait to see what Carey Mulligan and Jonathan Millett do next. Oh, did I mention my thoughts on our doubted Kevin James? For those who do not know, Kevin James is currently on our doubted list. So if you don't know what that is, go check our website out at filmrage.com. I was hoping you guys would jump in there. I must say, if we gave this a rating of Mondo, then he would be off our list. In my opinion, he nailed this as a dramatic badass motherfucker. I will never look at him the same as a mall cop ever again. I pray this movie pits him in a journey that he only does TV sitcoms for his comedy fix and now focuses on his dramatic acting. He was brilliant. I know it's not just up to me, but if it was up to just my vote, he would come off the doubted list after seeing this movie. As this movie was for me, kicking ass, punching dicks, ruler stabbing, Nazi slaying Mondo.
So, I have a lot of pretty much the same stuff to say as you. Just like I mentioned last week and just like you mentioned this week, this was basically Home Alone, but, outside in the woods with a young girl getting the best of the criminals. It had Kevin James showing that he can actually act. It had some gore. It had a simple story that moved along at a good pace. It had some excellent action sequences. It had a believable protagonist, even though she was a little girl.
Yep.
And that, that isn't easy to pull off.
Nope.
It had a killer ending. But the question is it Mondo? Because if it is, that means Mr. Kevin James has a shot at being taken off the doubted list.
Right?
So was this movie so good that Kevin James is no longer doubted? To that, I say yes. Yes, this was a Mondo, so congratulations, Kevin James. You are no longer doubted. That is, assuming Murray feels the same way. Now, Kevin James, please keep making more like this. Yes, moiking. Please keep making more like this and stop making mall cop movies.
Yes. I want to add something there because as you finish with that, before we get to the suspensefulness that is Murray's rating of this, this was a night for comedians for sure.
Yeah.
Both movies,
Kevin James and Jim Gaffigan
and Kevin James
nailing
dramatic roles.
Yep.
I couldn't have been happier.
Absolutely.
All right, Murray, don't keep us in suspense.
So this is all on Murray now. Me and Jim have said absolutely Kevin James after this performance and after this awesome movie has to come off the doubted list. And Murray says
it's like there's a lot of pressure on Murray because I think he likes Kevin James.
Well, since you asked, yes, I did go see it. This was after A 60-hour work week, by the way.
So he was already angry.
I was already in a really bad place. So yeah, I was ready for some violence. And yes, I do like Kevin James. I've seen both of his sitcoms. The first one great, the second one not so much because it was just a repeat of the first one.
Yeah, I don't know what a sitcom is.
I know you're not a TV person. I happen to be one. But yeah, he definitely fell off.
The turnip truck?
Well, once he started making more movies with Adam Sandler, yeah. Everything he did was crap from then on.
Yeah, but he was in Here Comes the Boom.
Whatever. But yes,
That had Cameron Diaz in it.
I did like this movie
Please
quite
stop.
a bit. And Kevin James was absolutely the best thing about this movie. And he was way more believable as a bad guy than Jim Gaffigan, I can tell you that. Yeah, he was.
I'm going to call that a dead heat. They were both
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, well,
Tied.
That's your opinion.
And mine.
And yeah, the little girl was definitely creepy, and
Creepy as
there
fuck.
was lots
wasn't
of
she?
violence, and yeah, I actually was gonna give it a meh, but based
We've
on
sold
Kevin
you.
James' performances, I can give it
He's pulling a Bryce.
a mild Mondo.
What?
I'll take it.
We'll take it.
Kevin James is off the doted
That
list.
is on the condition that Kevin James never makes another movie with Adam Sandler or David Spade.
Well,
If he does, he goes back on in a heartbeat.
But after all the suspense,
Yes.
just so we know,
this
if
is the
Murray-
first person ever to come off the doted. This is a monumental.
this is a
thing by-
monumental event.
See,
However, we put him on the list
I
when
didn't
Murray
put-
wasn't here.
Yes, I didn't put him on there in the first place.
After we went through all this suspense with this movie,
Yes.
if Murray thinks Mall Cop 1 or Mall Cop 2, which we both felt were rages, was a Mondo, he's automatically off.
Even Murray's going to go through that list, and he's going to have like back-to-back
Mondo.
rages. There's no question.
Well, yeah.
But he just has to have a Mondo, and he
How
comes
many
off the
Adam
list.
Sandler movies has he been in? Like 10?
way too
Right,
many,
okay.
and every one of them was crap.
Okay, but Murray, did Paul Blart Mall Cop, was that a Mondo for you?
That was not a rage.
Okay, but it has to be a Mondo.
It was definitely a meh, and the second one was a lower meh.
Okay,
There
so
you go.
was one of his movies a Mondo for you? Can you remember?
Zookeeper?
Didn't see it.
Here Comes the Boom.
I did not see that one either. No, honestly, yeah,
don't even know what else he's
Everything he's released has all been with Adam Sandler and David Spade and
Pretty
Chris
much.
Rock.
Yeah. And the stuff that
Sandy
wasn't.
Wexler.
Sandy Wexler. Yeah, that's an Adam
Like-
Sandler classic.
Like I said, it's like if he starts making crap like that and takes his career seriously, then yeah, he deserves to be off the
Yeah,
deck.
he's got to start making choices like Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
whatever.
artistic visions.
Just a little spoiler for you.
Yes.
He will never be on an Undoubted for me. Just
Who's that?
Who? Jim Gaffigan?
If you ever try to propose him,
Ah,
I will always veto him.
It'll take some doing for him to get to Undoubted, but man,
Yeah.
he's always
He wouldn't-
he's
not
mesmerizing
even
to me, though.
mesmerizing for me.
Oh.
Well, you know the rules.
Yep.
Okay, well, what are we planning on seeing this week? Which
Uh,
I know we're only probably going to get to see one of them.
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I think we should just talk about the one really, because the other one we'll talk about it when it's actually going to come out.
I just want to mention, let me just mention it.
You can mention
We've
it 'cause
been
it's-
thinking that it's going to come because they keep teasing us that
Yeah, but it was
Unhinged.
supposed like July 1st, and it was July
Yeah.
14th or 15th, and then it was.
So you got my hopes up when you
Yeah.
said, guess what? Unhinged may be playing this week.
Well, it said on the Cineplex website July 31st, and this is like 2 days ago. So how could they put that there? Like what the?
What the bleep?
Yeah.
What the bleepity bleep bleep?
Exactly.
All right, well, we are
So
going to see.
We've been looking forward to Unhinged with Russell Crowe, but unfortunately, apparently, it's being pushed back again. Yeah, but we are going to see something this weekend. At least we'll get to the theaters once, and who knows? We might get a surprise. You know, we might look Friday
Something,
morning
something.
and something's playing somewhere. You
Something,
never know.
something.
But for sure, we're going to go see Summerland, brand new movie, playing at the Plaza. So looking forward to this. Starting Gemma Arterton. It's about an English woman who is forced to take care of a young boy during World War II. Looks like a bit of a tearjerker. I always look forward, for the most part, to seeing Gemma Arterton movies. She is always excellent, although she has made some questionable decisions with some of the movies she had selected. As an
The
example,
girl with all the gifts? Come on.
as an example, murder mystery with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, that would make. That's going to keep her off the.
Exactly. I was thinking, is she undoubted? And then I looked at what she's been in, as well as she will be in the upcoming, guaranteed to be awful, The Kingsman.
That's going to be a mondo.
That is going to be so freaking awful.
So amazing.
I don't even know if I want to go see it. I just might
don't.
not.
I'm going to see it 5 or 6 times.
I'm gonna go see it just so I can rage about it.
Well,
Still, I'm looking forward to this one. It's been a while since I've had a good cry.
so interesting that you mentioned that because we watched the trailer tonight before jumping on the podcast,
Yes.
and as I'm watching it, it was starting to annoy me because
And there was some lesbian loving.
Well, no, it wasn't. That one didn't bother me at all. But what bothered
I
me
think
was
that's
like,
what pricked
oh
your
great,
ears.
another period piece about someone's parents dying in the war. I'm like, oh, fuck, this is gonna be boring as hell. And then
gonna
all of
be
a
so
sudden, and then
bad.
she did a flash edit to there was somebody once, and she's making out with a woman. I'm like, okay, a war movie where we have lesbian and interracial.
Lesbian
This movie
love.
may actually be good
In the 40s.
in the 40s.
Yep.
no less.
There you go.
So yeah, I'm very excited about seeing this one. Mur,
Cool.
We shall see.
We shall.
are you excited to see it?
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
I'm just glad I get to go
What a
to
ringing
a movie
endorsement.
I just glad I get to go to a movie theater.
And that it doesn't have Jim Gaffigan in it for
That
you.
is true.
Maybe he'll just have a bit part.
Bit part.
All right. Well, you know what?
Ooh.
Oh,
I know what
let's
time
dance.
it is.
I have a little.
Oh, he's
for
got.
you.
What do we
I
got?
have looked it up. Apparently, the new release date for Unhinged is August 14th.
Yep.
According
Yeah.
to Cineplex.
Let's push it back, and then when August
Let's
14th rolls
just
around, it'll be
never release
September
it.
15th.
Just don't ever release it.
Well, enough of that. Let's dance.
All right, let's dance.
Streaming. Motherfucking streaming. We're just streaming. And Bryce, we're
Streaming.
Murray. We were out watching movies, and then we were.
Streaming.
All right. So we streamed a couple of things this week.
Yes, we did. And I have a feeling our thoughts are going to be reversed on both of these.
Is that correct?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, well, we'll see. First thing we saw was Impetigore. I meant to look up what the heck that means, but I never did.
I can tell you it's either Impetigore or Pirampuan Tana Jaranam.
Yeah, that's great. What does Impetigore mean? I meant to look up what it means. Did
But
you
that's-
ever listen to me?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what it means. You have to jump in there.
It means that in Malaysian or Indonesian.
And what
sorry.
does that mean?
Well, I'm not Malaysian, so I don't know.
Anyways, it's Indonesian.
Right, Indonesian.
Yeah, it's not the same.
I know.
Anyways, it's getting off to a smooth start.
Yes, it is.
Impetigore, originally released last year, 2019. However, we just got it recently on Shudder. Those wonderful, wonderful people that still owe me money, but we'll talk about that another
You can get angry
time.
about that later.
They gave me some of my money back, by the way. They just didn't give what they
Sweet.
promised to give me back, but once again, we'll... Anyways, Indonesian horror film from director Joko Anwar. This has a great opening sequence that turns up the tension and lets you know that you're watching a movie made by a very capable filmmaker. After the opening sequence, it turns into a very well-paced slow burn with memorable scene after memorable scene. Tara Basro in the role of Maya is a star, and I hope to see her in more films. I loved every second of this. It was creepy. It sprinkled in the gore to maximum effectiveness. The pace was perfect. The characters were interesting. The story was good. Although, let me take one thing back. I enjoyed every second of this until the last 2 minutes. The movie needed to end 2 minutes earlier when Maya was running away. Unfortunately, they tacked on a scene at the end. When the screen you are watching says 1 year later, do yourself a favor and stop the movie. If you stop the movie at that point, it is a darn near perfect film. If you do not stop the movie at that point, you see an unnecessary scene that is just cheesy and unsatisfying. So the question it does or the question is,
It does do.
Yeah,
Abada.
So the question is, does that last 2 minutes cause this film to go from mondo to meh? Well, I'm gonna forgive the filmmaker and not let the last 2 minutes sink the whole thing. This was mondo.
What?
This was a mondo. But please, when the screen says 1 year later, just stop the movie. What say you, Jim?
Well, I have to apologize because I thought we were going to be at polar opposites on this one today.
I don't know why. The movie was awesome.
Yeah, except for I knew the last 2 minutes you wouldn't have liked.
I hated that. That was ridiculous. Like, there was no point to it. It didn't even make any sense, really.
I think your personality's changing because that would have destroyed this movie.
It darn near
6 months
did.
ago.
I loved the rest of it. So, like, that opening sequence, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
And then it kind of slowed down and just went at this nice pace. And you got these little jumps, and then I loved it. This was a very well-made film. This dude that made this film, this guy can direct.
Have you seen any of his other stuff?
I looked it up, and I've seen a couple of the other ones, and I saw one of them. Sorry, I think he's made 2.
Oh no, he's made a
quite
few.
Anyways, I know I've seen at least one other, and it was good as well.
Impetigore, I think it's pronounced Jocko.
I still think it's Yoko.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
He's brilliant at framing every shot. I loved every. If you noticed. Every
Absolutely.
shot was perfectly fucking framed.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how he did it. It was just like, bam, frame, bam, frame, bam, frame. It was just like, every shot was like, bam, bam, bam. And I was just like,
I said, this guy's a filmmaker, man.
The dialogue on this at the beginning was so amazing. It was so fast. It was rapid fire. The two friends at the check-in.
It took me a bit to kind of.
I had to go back and rewatch it because there was a rhythm there. They were just
once
like
you got
bam,
into
bam,
the
bam,
rhythm,
bam, bam.
you're good.
It was so fast. It was so it was just so fucktastically creepy and fantastic. The whole first scene.
It was awesome.
With the suspense that was built. I love the little creeped out foreshadowing moments, like the creepy kids off the side of the bus, or a really quick shot that he held on the cemeteries. So well crafted to bring the atmosphere, and I'm going to say atmosphere probably about 70 times in this review.
It was dripping with it.
Favorite line, let's just play along like we're students. No one kills students. I couldn't stop laughing. I was just like,
so good.
So good. Like, he just had his tongue so far in its cheek. It wasn't funny. The suspense in this film is Hitchcock epic suspense. Through the whole beginning of the film, as the lead actress tries to figure out what's happening, the creepy, douchey locals coming to her house was so amazing. Like when they took her girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
That was just so well crafted. I love the whole creeped up fuckery through the end part where they reveal the actual events that happened, how they did that, which normally, as I'm watching it, they could have really montaged it and made it really stupid, but they did a really good job as the ghosts.
They did a pretty good job.
I thought it was good. I liked the way, I really liked it. The suicide part of the mother and the son was a surprise ending, which I didn't expect, but it was a nice bloody surprise. I love the direction in this film with all the messed up mommy-daddy issues everybody seemed to have. I also love the fact that the mysticism and superstitions of the simple country folk, quote unquote, added more to the whole suspense of weirdness that ultimately was truthful to a degree with the child spirits. This gets, you thought you had a family issues, soft mondo, for great framing by this awesome Indonesian director.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I'm so looking forward to anything this dude makes. And
Murray's going to tell us it means goddamn woman.
Impetigore means goddamn woman?
No, the other three.
The other three things.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Impetigore is the same in both languages, apparently.
Okay. Impetigore's just nonsense. It sounds cool.
Yeah, probably it is.
Probably.
Impetigore.
We got gore in the title.
I think they should have just gone with goddamn woman.
They should have. Why not?
Yeah, I don't know. That might not have sold well.
That might not.
With all the mysticism that Shudder brings with some of its international films.
But yeah, that was so good. I just love that movie.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that.
Until the last 2 minutes, but it was still
Nah.
Mondo. You got to admit, that was dumb. The 1 year later crap, did we really need that?
Yeah, I didn't.
Last
I don't
scene
know.
should have been her running away and done.
People like to have updates.
Fade to black, roll the credits, make Bryce happy.
It's like Unsolved Mysteries. They want to hear the update.
No one wanted to hear the update. If you want to hear the update, make a sequel.
But he wasn't worthy of a sequel.
Oh, it's so worthy of his
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't want to see it.
I don't know how you do a sequel.
I don't know. Yeah,
so.
I don't know how you do a sequel because it doesn't need it.
Yeah, let's just get another film from Anwar. That guy's awesome. I love him.
Yep, absolutely. In fact, we may have to start doing some research to see if we can get him on the undoubted list.
Yeah, let's start watching some of his movies because
Yep.
I know I haven't seen them all.
Yep.
What else do we see there, Jim?
We saw Tommaso.
Oh yeah, that was presented by our friends at Calgary Cinematheque.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I made notes all about this, and then you know what? I lost them. So I'm gonna wing it, which is never a good thing. But so I didn't love this movie.
What?
No, I did not love it at all. I found what I did love about this movie is Willem Dafoe. I mean, it's basically him.
It's awesome.
It's basically him in the entire movie. I
is.
thought,
Willem Dafoe doing some yoga.
yeah, and just.
And what's not entertaining about that?
It was just too long, and there was.
Oh,
I
wasn't
kept
long
wanting
enough.
something to happen. Nothing happened
Too
in this
much
whole
happened,
movie.
really,
No,
but-
nothing. Nothing happened.
Oh, it's so good.
No,
You've been
there's-
talking about character studies and how character is key. Come on. We got to know every nuance of Willem Dafoe through this.
Yeah, but I didn't care because his character wasn't really likable, and his family wasn't likable. No one was really
I
likable.
disagree. Sometimes his character was likable, and other times he wasn't, because that was, that's being a human
Yeah. No, I could not fall in love with the plot of this. It was just.
being. So good.
It was not. It was draggy at parts. I'm giving it a meh, only because of, and I don't want to say only because of Willem Dafoe, because there was parts of this movie I did like. I did love the way his character was developed,
I also
but
like
I did not find that the movie kept me interested in what happened at the end. Because about an hour and a half into it, I'm like, okay, this is a 2-hour movie, and it feels like it's been 5 hours.
This is a 2-hour movie, and it's flying by like you wouldn't believe.
No, it was so. You know what? As I'm watching it at about an hour in, I'm like, Bryce would love this because all there was walking. Like there was really just him walking around.
There's a lot of
the
walking,
cities,
but not enough.
And I like the scenes in Rome because I've been to Rome and it was kind of cool. But no, this was not great.
I just don't even understand. So you liked parts of the movie, which
Yes.
I also like parts of the movie.
You like a lot of parts
Like every part of the movie I liked.
Especially the walking.
The walking was
Especially
true.
There's
walking
so much
was awesome.
walking, Murray. There's so much walking.
So here's what I have to say about Tommaso. Willem Dafoe was tremendous, as you kind of touched upon. There are scenes in this which were also tremendous, especially the AA scenes and the scene with the homeless dude.
Yep.
Come on, how good was that?
It was good, yeah.
The fact that nothing was over-explained was refreshing in an era where everything gets over-explained.
Yep, but that was part of its downfall too.
That was not part of his downfall.
Because nothing was explained.
Exactly. So you actually have to use your brain, Jim. There were times in the movie where I was left with my own devices to figure out what was going on. That is a good thing. I love the fact that sometimes I sympathize with Tommaso and other times I opposed him. I love the dream sequences and the fact that it was always took me a second to realize that this was not really happening. That was spectacular. This is why I love the movies. This was a thought-provoking, emotion-inducing, and most importantly, this movie was Mondo.
So I agree with everything you said except two things. Number one, I didn't find it thought-provoking because I found it too boring. But I also didn't think it was a Mondo. So,
You are so
but otherwise,
wrong.
a lot of what you said I did agree with.
It was tremendous, and I'd like to thank Calgary Cinematheque for presenting
yes.
this spectacular film.
Am I upset that I watched it?
And I'm
No.
hoping they do some more, because I will be supporting them every time. I am super stoked about Calgary Cinematheque. I've now seen 2 movies from them, and I don't know why
I think
I
we've
wasn't
seen
supporting.
more,
I don't know why I wasn't supporting them before. But I will be supporting them from now on because everything that they bring to the table has been great. They're going to have maybe my favorite movie of this year, still is, Vitalina Varela. And this might make my top 10 too. It's not out of the question by the end of the year. So
That doesn't surprise
good
me.
on Calgary Cinematheque.
Yeah, no, and you know what? Calgary Cinematheque is great, and I'm not saying I'm not happy that I've seen this, because Willem Dafoe in this was worth the price of admission.
There you
For
go.
me.
All right.
Okay, well, you know what time it is.
It is time for something.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
So we're all kind of happy that the theaters are open. There's no denying that. But
True.
with the lack of commercials that we had, as we kind of already alluded to, it's going to be hard for some of our theaters to potentially make money to stay open. But what I'm hoping that doesn't happen now is that they're just going to allow any fucking riffraff, idiot, loser to come and watch movies that don't deserve to even be able to go outside in a time of COVID and a pandemic. I'm like shocked. We went to go see Becky at... No, it wasn't Becky. It was at Chinook. It was at Chinook,
Chinook
right?
was
Yeah,
where you had the
yeah. We went and
problems.
saw.
Target number 1.
Target number 1. Thank you. Most wanted. Target number 1. most targeted
Most
number
wanted,
1.
AKA
Super duper
Target
movie.
number 1.
Yeah, Josh Hartnett and friends.
That's what they should have called it.
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett and friends. Maybe they would have got more than 8 people at the theater
Maybe.
then.
So there's 8 of us in this fucking movie theater. You and me are sitting at the very back of the movie theater. And then there was a couple that were sitting kind of right in the middle. Obviously they looked, because these are assigned seats.
Yep.
And they went and found their seats. And we had a little bit of playful banter when they came in.
We did.
Talking about what we were planning on doing in the theater.
Which may or may not have involved gay sex.
But they thought it was, so they were a little concerned. So, and then there's another couple that come in. So, okay, there's 2 aisles in a theater. We're living in a pandemic, and these douchebags come up the aisle that we're sitting right beside, and they cut right in front of us. And I'm thinking to myself, do you not see that there's another fucking aisle down the other way where you had to go nowhere near us? So that was the first part that already got me tipped off.
Yep.
And then the final 8. 8 is enough.
2 more came in.
2 more came in. They're looking around like they've never been in a cinema in their life. Perhaps they haven't, because when I tell you what they did, you probably won't be surprised. They go in, they look like, oh, where are we going to sit? They didn't go and look at their ticket and find out where they're supposed to sit. They just were looking around like, dum-da-dum, where are we going to sit? So they walk up like 1 row below us and over 4 seats. So first off, okay, this theater probably holds 250 people.
Yep.
We've got 8 people.
Yep.
And 4 of us are in a cluster of about, yes, we were social distanced. But in the size of this motherfucking theater,
There was no
you think
need
they
to
could
be
have,
in
if
that
they weren't
close.
going to sit in their assigned seats, they could have went and sit somewhere where they weren't around the other, because they were close enough to us and they're close enough to our little friends that we made before the show, that they like whatever was happening with those 2, the people that came in first with us would have heard it as well. And then, of course, there's the other people on our row, way down the other end of the aisle, right beside, I might add, an aisle that goes up.
Yep.
So they sit down, the movie starts, and they talked nonstop through the whole fucking movie. And it was almost like he was interpreting. And it wasn't like they were whispering. Like, it wasn't like, hey, what's happening over there? I didn't understand that because I'm fucking stupid. It was more like he was talking on a conference call in the movie theater and was louder than the fucking voices on the theater. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I almost lost my shit a couple of times, but then Jim Gaffigan was on the screen, so I was enjoying it so much. Yeah. So I lost a little bit of my hatred balance. But I'm just thinking to myself, people, come on. Like this, we're not watching it in your home where you can be as stupid as you want in the movie theaters, other people around. Shut the fuck up. There's a reason why they have commercials that say, don't be a Tommy Texter, don't be a Sally Soundtrack. These guys, and I want to see a brand new term, and wish Cineplex Odeon could use this one, called fucking assholes, who won't shut up through the whole movie.
It's catchy.
Might be a trademark issue.
It could be a trademark issue, but the other ones, there's another pair. So the
Yeah,
pair that are in
I'm
our
waiting for
aisle,
this one.
they're in the middle of the fucking movie. They have to get up, and again, let's remember
they're
here,
literally beside an
literally
aisle.
beside an aisle. They have to get up and make us get up so they can walk past us
They
in
went
the
all
middle
way
of the
to your
fucking
end
movie.
of the row.
They walked
Yes.
all the way to our end of the row.
Wow.
To walk to the bathroom, and then guess what? They came back and did the exact same thing. And I'm just like, okay, so we've now got. Don't be a person that fucking talks through the whole way through the fucking movie, and then we've got assholes who find it necessary to walk in front of you when there's 8 people in the motherfucking movie. This is my rage this week. When you are at a movie theater or you're anywhere in the world, try to know that you're not the only person that's walking this fucking planet. How about you think about other people that are around you at all times? And that includes when you're out in public, wear a fucking mask.
Amen and hallelujah, brother.
I can't argue with anything you said.
I'm still steaming about it.
Yeah, no, that was total crap, man. All right, well, I can't really follow that, but I'll do my best. Because that was a lot of rage.
Dude, I'm still
I'm
raging.
sure you can find some rage somewhere.
Next time, I'm just going to say shit. I'm tired of not saying shit.
Absolutely.
There you go. Actually, it was actually funny because the one girl went over and our buddies down there, she went over and said, "Can you guys just shut up?"
Yeah, that's
Really?
awesome.
Wow.
Did you not see her?
No, I did
No.
not.
Yeah, and then they were better for a while.
Yeah, and
you
then
didn't
they
see her. She crept over and she was in the middle of the aisle, and she's like, "Excuse me, can you guys just shut up?" And then she walked back,
She's
and then they were
sweet.
good. Yeah, she
I
was
love
all right.
those guys.
Yeah.
I wish they were our friends now.
No kidding.
If they're listening to this, which is probably not a possibility.
Yeah, you never know.
But if they're listening, you guys in the movie theater, what time did we see it? 10:15?
10:15 at Chinook on Saturday night.
If you're listening, let us know. You're awesome people.
All right. So my open rage is we went to 2 movies, and my rage is more just kind of I'm bummed than raging, to be honest.
This week's open bum.
This is my open. What a bummer. We went to 2 movies last weekend, and there was a grand total of 15 seats occupied between the 2 screenings. This was on a Saturday night, and one of the films was in its opening weekend. I really realize these are unique times, and not everyone is comfortable in public gatherings. I can tell you, though, I would be surprised if anyone felt uncomfortable with the precautions being taken. Cineplex had only 40 seats available, with more than the required recommended social distancing between parties, but of those 40 seats, only 8 of them was occupied. And every independent theater we have been to has every other row roped off with plenty of room between patrons.
Yep.
I hope those that feel comfortable start attending the movies again at the theater, as I'm afraid if we do not get more people out, the theaters may not be able to continue. Originally, I was afraid for the independent theaters, but now I don't even think that the Cineplexes and the Landmarks of the world will survive if this continues.
Yep.
So those who are comfortable, please support film at your local theaters, as they could definitely use your support in these uncertain times. Not really a rage, but come on, people.
Support our theaters or we're not going to get them.
Exactly.
That's right.
All right. Well, the happiest moment is about to come.
Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
I would like to say, add my 2 cents. Yeah, I actually did think about this last week about the very thing you were talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, and some of these movies are like $5 or $2.99. Like, yeah, they're older movies, but
Yeah.
go see
Do
them.
whatever you can.
It's
It's
$3. Like,
Yeah,
how
if-
can you not afford a $3? Like,
if
I
you
went to
can-
see Becky. I got a movie ticket. I got a large drink and candy. $9.50
Holy shit, man.
There you go.
for that. That was the whole night out. Like,
Yeah.
how can you
can't
not
beat it.
afford that?
Well, and so what makes it funny to this point is we've got places like the Cactus Club downtown, restaurants that are
people are
fucking spreading
crawling on each other,
COVID,
exactly.
spreading
And they're
COVID because they're
full.
all getting
They're
drunk
full.
and humping up
yeah,
against
people like
each
to
other.
sit on the patio and drink, but they can't go to a freaking movie.
Well, most of these theaters you can get drinks in, so get fucking drunk in the theater and
exactly.
socially distance.
Anyway, that's the first part of my minute. But
Oh, Murray, make us feel good about life again.
yeah, I've got a little something. I don't know if it's good or bad, but
You always bring the good, buddy.
I do bring
Always.
the joy. So I came across a movie on the old TV Guide as I was flipping through one night. It looked interesting. It was middle of my horrible week. So it was called Stay from 2005. Now the listing on the TV Guide described it as the following: attempts of a psychiatrist to prevent one of his patients from committing suicide while trying to maintain his own grip on reality.
Oh, it's you using this.
Is this Ryan Reynolds?
No, it's you.
Had an all-star
Ryan
cast,
Gosling.
including
Gosling.
my favorite actor,
Right.
Ewan
You-Yous.
McGregor.
Oh, it's Ewan McGregor. Yeah,
It's got
right.
you in it.
It also had Ryan Gosling,
Ryan,
who's also in my top 5, Naomi Watts, Bob Hoskins, and Janine Garofalo.
I remember this movie.
I figured, what the hell? I taped it since I was, in the middle of a
I
horrible
loved it.
week. I didn't have time to watch it, so I'll watch it today. Well, the movie I tried to watch today was not that film.
No!
So screw you, Tellus, and your TV guide programmers.
Oh, no.
It had the same title.
No!
Exact same title. It was nothing like the McGregor.
And it wasn't 2005.
No, it was 2013.
What was
this
it?
one starred Aidan Quinn.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know. He was in Betty and June and Legends of the Fall.
Aidan Quinn's good.
It also had Taylor Schilling, who TV people will know from Orange is the New Black.
Okay.
But not a lot of movies. I think she was in a Canadian movie a few years ago, but and she happens to be Canadian. So this was an Irish/Canadian production. Half the movie was shot in each country, so you got to see Ireland, which was nice. Now, this was on Lifetime, so I should have known better.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
But I thought, Ewan McGregor, I'll give it a shot, right? Well, it actually wasn't half bad. It had a surprise appearance by the always awesome Michael Ironside.
Hot damn,
Cool.
son.
Basic gist of it is a retired professor lives in the Irish countryside with his younger Canadian girlfriend. She finds out she's pregnant and he just doesn't want to have kids. So she goes home to Toronto to her dad, Michael Ironside. He stays in Ireland and basically he's depressed and shit, and he rips his phone out from the wall, his landline, because some telemarketer called him, so she can't even call him. And he meets this teenage kid who basically he hires the kid to build a fence for him, and he's this Irish kid. He's lovable character, and basically he's a curmudgeon for the whole movie. Aidan is. And then it borders on being a chick flick, but it actually ends up being a sweet independent film with Irish flair. A lot of great Irish characters. It was a lot slower than I'm used to, but I think it was a good
But it had
watch.
Michael Ironside, so you
Yeah.
couldn't help but love it.
Exactly. And the line of the film, which I know you're fond of doing, you're horseshite and bollocks. I don't know what that
Sweet.
means, but it sounds pretty bad. But yeah,
I don't want to be that.
But
No.
yeah, it was definitely a slower pace than I'd like. But it's entertaining actually. So
So you're giving it-
not a total waste.
Are you giving it a Monday?
And it's
Or are you
Canadian.
giving it a meh?
It's a high meh. I mean, I wouldn't pay money to see it, but it was on TV, and there was no Ewan McGregor in it, but yeah, it was okay. I had to watch something, right?
There you go.
I love it when you got to watch something. Are you finished all your screenings for SIF, by the way?
So far, I don't know yet. They want me to do
Okay.
other stuff, but
So now he has time to watch other movies. I love it.
That is correct.
He's got a life again.
No, I'll start watching TV again.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Raggy. Okay, well, the lists.
I like this music.
I do. It's almost suspenseful to find out if you actually did your fucking homework.
Was I supposed to do something?
You were supposed to see The Devils.
Oh, yeah. Oliver Reed.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
You dick. Ah!
Moving on.
Yeah, no, we got to stay on this for a bit. He just has to watch one movie, and he can't do it.
I watched both the Karita movies last week.
Yeah, but you wanted to see those Karita movies.
I want to see The Devils.
Okay, good. I hope you. I
will
hope-
watch it.
I'm more excited because Ken Russell is one of my favorite directors. Like, he's in my top 5.
Yeah.
So I really hope you like this film because it is super fucked up and it's super awesome.
Well, there we go. I will watch
All right.
it.
Well,
maybe even for next week.
Maybe if we're all lucky. Well, see, the problem is I keep bringing more things forward, and it may cause us to do more homework. So these aren't going to stop.
That's all
Okay,
right.
so did anybody bring anything forward this week?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. You guys. Well,
I'm gonna surprise you soon.
I'm stealing Murray's idea because
All right.
I'm gonna throw out a doubted,
Yep.
an undoubted,
Yep.
and just one mesmerized this week.
Doubted, undoubted, mesmerized. We're
No,
covering
no,
all the
no.
bases.
Covering all the bases. What do you
Cool.
want first?
Give me the mesmerized
Okay, so this week
because it's the most likely to make it.
to make it. So I'm pulling out Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Didn't we
I'm
already
go-
put him on one of these?
Nope.
Nope. I will say that Michael Caine is. I'll go with mesmerized. Yep.
Mesmerized? Yeah, I can go for that, I guess.
All right. 3 yeses. We got ourselves another mesmerized.
All right, there we go.
Here's and,
That's
he's,
the
then,
longest-
and then he shat on a turtle.
We're gonna need a separate website just to hold all
Just
the
for our
mesmerized.
mesmerized list. It's not as many as what we watch every week, so that page is way fuller.
Yes.
All right, okay, so mesmerized. Mur, what do you want next? The doubted or the undoubted?
Doubt it because I know what it's going to be.
Yeah, you do, because you were supposed to take this down, but I did it anyway for you.
Doubted.
This week, it's Martin Lawrence. And why isn't he on our list?
Yeah. Why isn't he on it? He's not on our list.
No, he's not.
I thought we
Do you
did
have
last-
any of his?
thought we did.
Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I have them all.
Okay, let's just
So-
go for it.
And I'm just looking at 1,
'cause
2,
if I have
3,
a-
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've seen all of them but one.
But I'm afraid somehow I've seen them too. So let's.
Oh, you
roll.
haven't seen one because we agreed we would never all of us agreed we would never see it.
Bad Boys for Life.
That's right. He's doing his 2 fingers shake there. Everybody. We're all bad boys for life in here. 2006 Big Mama's House 2 was a rage.
I didn't see it.
Now
But-
this
but I
this
It has the two in
we
it.
we may stop right here though because this is a rage for me, but I'm almost certain Murray told me this was a mondo for him once. So
With
he
Martin
may
Lawrence
not.
in it?
Yep. Wild Hogs.
That is such a rage.
It's such a rage. I hated everything
Yeah, I know.
about this
It'll never
movie.
make because you guys give it a rage, but I don't.
Was it a mondo or is it a meh? Because if it's a mondo, Martin Lawrence is not on the list.
No, it was a high meh. It wasn't a mondo.
Hi,
but
man.
I saw it because of the
Whoa.
cast.
He
That was
wants.
close.
I was so close.
William H. Macy,
He's great.
Tim Allen, John Travolta,
John Travolta is also doubted
and
by
Martin
the way.
Lawrence. So Martin Lawrence was obviously the worst thing about that movie, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay, so it was a meh though, so we're
Yeah.
safe. Woo! There's sweat off
That
my
was
brow.
close. Oh,
okay,
man.
Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins.
I saw that. That was
It
awful.
was a rage.
That was a rage.
College Road Trip, also a rage.
Did not see it.
Death at a Funeral was a
Rage.
rage.
And that had Peter
Big-
Dinklage in it.
Yes, and I love Peter Dinklage. Big Mamas Like Father Like Son, also a rage.
How did you
and I
see
did
this?
see I did see it.
Why?
I was really drunk, and where
fair enough.
we were watching it. I think I threw up a couple times, but I'm not sure it was because of how
Probably-
drunk I was.
Yeah, it might have been the movie that induced
Now,
that.
this one was a meh, and that's The Beach Bum.
The Beach Bum.
Yeah,
With
2019 with
with
Matthew McConaughey.
I like. I
It was a
actually.
meh.
I
It was
like
a-
that movie.
it was a meh.
But it was a meh.
And the one we didn't see, but we don't have to because we've made the
Yeah.
rules for doubted. Martin Lawrence is officially doubted.
Yeah.
There was actually
unquestionably.
one that you did not list, which I didn't absolutely hate.
Was it made for TV though? Because we
No,
don't
it
count
was a
those.
movie.
What
Which
was it?
one?
I believe he was in a movie with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, but that was before 2006.
Okay, well I don't know what.
Because
year
I'm
it
just
was,
doing
but
them in the
yeah.
last
Yeah,
8.
it's just got to be last.
But yeah,
week.
that's maybe besides
What,
Wild Hogs.
what movie
it-
was that?
That was called Life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
Life
was-
wasn't bad.
Him and Eddie Murphy, they were.
Yeah, but it was
But it was
before
meh.
in prison
2006.
for life,
and
they-
it was
they
also
aged.
meh. It wasn't.
It was
fun.
Yeah, it was
before
a
two-
meh, but it was one of the only
Yeah.
2 movies he's ever done that I didn't absolutely hate.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's so he's on the list.
There you go.
You would have been so excited about the other one because you would also be not surprised that he should make the list unless Murray gives out. I'm excited. You know what? I'm not doing my undoubted this week. I'm going to do double doubted because I so want to go through this one.
Okay, so we're not even doing an undoubted.
No,
this
we're
week.
not doing undoubted. I
Okay.
changed my mind
Let's
because I'm
double-
so excited.
Let's double doubt.
Double doubt.
down on
Double
the
down,
doubted.
Double
Yep.
down.
So I'm going to list off the movies, but not the person.
Okay.
So 2005's The Island with Ewan McGregor,
Yeah.
which was a meh.
Okay, I know what you're thinking
Yeah, it
of
was a
now.
meh.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay, keep
Murray,
going.
do you remember?
I'm
Yeah,
trying
I've
to.
seen it.
Is it a meh? Or was it a mondo for you?
It wasn't a Mondo.
'Kay.
I mean, I like everything he's in.
2007, Transformers.
Oh,
Rage.
maybe not.
2009, Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
Rage.
2011, Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
Rage. Okay, who the heck is this?
2013, Pain and Gain, which is a man.
Is it Mark Wahlberg?
Nope.
Pain and Gain. Who the heck was in Pain and Gain?
It's not ScarJo.
Pain and Gain, by the way, was a Mondo.
Is it? Well, that's it.
He's not undoubted.
With the
Okay,
Rock?
so
With the Rock?
Michael Bay is officially not doubted.
Michael Bay. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
How could you give that a Mondo?
I love that movie. That is the one hiccup in Michael Bay's career where I didn't get it. I'm like, what is going on? I like this movie. Like, I liked it a lot. I liked it so much that it was Mondo. And I absolutely
You hate Michael Bay.
rage on everything else except for the island,
Okay,
which is
so
meh.
just bringing it out, Transformers: Age of Extinction was a rage. 13 Hours was a rage.
Yep.
Transformers: The Last Night was a rage.
Yep.
6 Underground was a super rage.
That was an unbelievable super rage.
Yeah. So we've now
Okay,
got to wait.
So how
for,
many films since Pain and Gain?
Since Pain and Gain, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I really enjoyed Pain and Gain, and I felt dirty for even liking it. But
Yeah, you should feel dirty.
I couldn't help myself. I was like, I'm like, how did Michael Bay? I don't understand. Like, it still had the stupid quick cuts and everything, but it actually fit that.
But
movie.
it wasn't really an action movie.
No, it wasn't.
So
it was,
every movie he's done is action, which is annoying.
Yeah.
With no plot, and it's terrible acting.
Yeah,
But,
but somebody gave him, like, I don't know how he got his hands on this script, and somebody thought it was a good
Allowed
idea
him to do it?
that he could make it, but it was good.
well,
It was real good.
I'll disagree with you because for me it was a meh.
It was Mondo.
All right. Well, that's the list this week.
Alrighty. Last time on Rage or Dare, Bryce pulled from Jim's evil bag of torture. Is this meat that is Bad Boys 2 in the most awful trilogy sandwich going to make Bryce give a new level of triple rage? Or will Will Smith, yeah, nice double word there, Will Smith's beautiful smile and awesome musical stylings win him over? This week, Jim will have to decide to rage or dare from Bryce's stanky succubus bag. Let's first check in with Bryce and see what could be the most epic rage ever created.
All right, Bad Boys 2.
Duh.
Bad Boys, duh. Where do I start?
At the beginning.
All right. So this was Michael Bay doing what Michael Bay does. Actually, let me take that back. This is actually worse than what Michael Bay usually does. And since what he usually does is make loud, overly stylized, obnoxious, overproduced, ridiculous garbage with unnatural dialogue and cliches for characters, the fact that this is even worse is almost unbelievable. Do not get me wrong, all of those qualities that I just listed are present, but the one thing that most Michael Bay films are not is mean. But that's exactly what this was. This was just an ugly movie with horrible characters doing horrible things. The nausea-inducing quick cuts are still present, along with all the overly long, convoluted action sequences, some of which I have no idea why they were even in the movie. They weren't even really related to anything, but I digress. But those are to be expected in a Michael Bay movie. What I did not expect is Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's characters intimidating a 15-year-old boy by pulling a gun on him, asking him if he's a virgin, calling him the N-word, asking him if he's ever had sex with a man, and when he says no, Smith's character says, "Want to?" So let me get this straight. Will Smith just asked to have sex with a 15-year-old boy in this movie.
In a Michael Bay film.
That is hilarious stuff.
I can't stop laughing.
Oh, so funny. There's also a scene towards the end where they're in a giant yellow Hummer speeding down the side of a hill covered with shanties, plowing through the homes of poor people. The Hummer explodes through dozens of homes, and it could be assumed that there were probably people in those homes, which means they just murdered dozens of people with no remorse. I guess they were poor though, so it's all right in Michael Bay's world. What a mean-spirited, awful, disgusting movie. I cannot believe this was even made. Major rage. I wanted to be funny about this. I can't be funny because it was so mean and ugly. It was awful.
Was it sadistic?
I No, it wasn't. I'm not. Stop trying to make sadistic happen, Jim.
You seem tortured by it.
I am tortured by it. This was so god awful. I can't believe it didn't sink his career. It was this bad. Like, how could people watch this and think that it's all right?
I remember not really liking Bad Boys, but when I saw Bad Boys 2, I thought to myself, this at the time that was like the worst movie I think I'd ever seen.
It was so cringe-inducing. Like,
yeah,
just mean stuff too. Like, why?
Yeah,
this is supposed to be a funny romp,
and they're cops. They're supposed to be ethical of sort.
Yeah, just awful.
Thank you, Michael Bay.
And they blew up an iguana at the end. What was with that? Why did they have to blow up the iguana?
Yeah,
I didn't need to see. I'm already upset with this movie. I just watch hundreds of people get murdered by a Hummer. And then I have to
gas guzzling Hummer.
I know, exactly. Killing the environment and the people
animals.
In it. And then they blow up an iguana. Iguana steps on a landmine. Oh, that's awesome.
That was so funny.
Yeah, it's just hilarious. Let's watch lizards blow up.
Michael
That's so
Bay.
funny. He's a dick.
And he is, in my mind, he's doubted. But thanks to Bryce and his terrible thoughts on pain and gain, he's not on our list.
I feel so dirty because of that.
Yeah,
you should absolutely
you should
be on the
absolutely
list.
feel dirty. All right, well, let me see your stank bitch ball bag. Oh, it's secret. No, you know what?
That's not it.
I'm choosing Dare.
I'm not even prepared for Dare.
I know, that's what makes it even better.
Let me go to my trusty list.
You guys both have to agree, so you got to share it with the Murr.
Yeah. He'll agree.
Murr, have you got one?
We got one. Okay.
Show it to Murr.
Do you want to stick with a theme from this week, there, Murr?
Whatever.
Oh, wait a second.
I can't even read that, dude.
Just a second. That's actually in the bag. Never mind. Let's try something that's not in the bag.
I think he's in the bag right now.
Do we? Oh, this is so hard. Yeah.
Thank God I chose Dare,
There's
and
so
that
much
Bryce
bad.
was so
There's
prepared.
So much bad.
It's okay. We've got nothing but time. The listeners are just going, huh? How bad are these guys?
Okay. Let's see. Oh no!
Just pull from the bag.
Yeah, I'm pulling from the bag. You're not prepared.
No,
Where's your
no.
bag? Nope. You've taken too long.
It's down here.
Is this down there? Give me the bag.
That's the bag.
Is
All
this
right,
is
pull
this
from the
Murray's?
bag. No, that's mine.
Oh, that's mine.
This is yours?
No, that's
No, that's
okay.
you got mine.
Okay.
I can feel you tugging on my bag.
I was tugging on it.
Should you have waited for me to come up with a?
I'm going to watch 2001's Glitter.
awesome.
Well, I'm kind of excited.
Actually, I don't know. That might have some.
Mariah Carey? Isn't Mariah Carey in
Is
there?
Mariah Carey's
Mariah Carey.
debut?
Ah.
Yes, it is.
I can't wait. I
Okay,
love her.
I got to be more
She's
prepared.
one
if
fine
you-
singer.
She's a great singer.
I know, right?
She just can't act.
Guess I'll
Anyway.
find out.
Yeah,
Well,
all right.
Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended film rate crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision and photography. You're Leonard Conlon Photography. Listen to us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And check out our website at filmrageyyc.com. We are always wanting your feedback to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment often and please make us rage. Please, please. But don't be sadistic. That's it for this week.
Stop making
Rage.
sadistic.
Oh,
Stop making
Not a thing.
It's not a thing, Jim.
rage on.
Rage on.
Sadistic's not out.